Welcome to another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're going to uncover the secrets of a legendary U.S. penny, the 1944 Lincoln cent. This coin is not just any ordinary penny, it holds a fascinating history, potential mint errors, and some versions that are worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. So, if you have a 1944 penny sitting in your collection, or maybe even in your pocket change, you might want to take a closer look. Because some of these rare versions have sold for incredible prices. Stay with me as we explore what makes this penny so special, the rare varieties you should be looking for, and most importantly, the shocking amount one of these coins was sold for. The story behind the 1944 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, replacing the previous Indian head cent. Fast forward to 1944, and the world was in the middle of World War II. The United States Mint was still adjusting to changes in coin production that had started in 1943, when pennies were made from steel coated with zinc due to wartime copper shortages. But in 1944, the U.S. Mint switched back to using copper, making this penny a significant part of American history. However, some extremely rare variations of the 1944 penny exist, and they can be worth thousands. Design and features of the 1944 penny. Let's take a closer look at the design of this historic coin and the details that can make certain versions extremely valuable. Obverse, front, design. The obverse features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscription, "In God We Trust," is at the top of the coin. The word "Liberty" is placed to the left of Lincoln. The year 1944 is struck on the right side, just below Lincoln's chin. If the coin was minted in Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, a small mint mark appears under the date. Reverse, back, design. The reverse features the classic wheat ears design, which was used from 1909 to 1958. The words "United States of America" are centered. The Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one," is inscribed at the top. The denomination 1 cent is boldly displayed. Where was the 1944 penny minted? The 1944 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 different locations, and each version has different levels of rarity. 1. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the most common version, produced in huge numbers. 2. Denver Mint, D mint mark, marked with a small d under the date. 3. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, marked with an S under the date and is generally scarcer. Rare varieties and mint errors that could make your 1944 penny extremely valuable. If you happen to have a 1944 penny, the difference between an ordinary coin and one worth a fortune lies in rare errors and varieties. Let's take a look at some of the most valuable ones. 1. 1944 Steel Penny, the holy grail of pennies. One of the rarest and most valuable versions of the 1944 penny is actually made of steel. In 1943, pennies were made of steel due to copper shortages during World War II. But in 1944, the U.S. Mint switched back to copper. However, a few 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from the previous year, creating one of the rarest U.S. coins ever. How to identify a 1944 steel penny? It will look gray or silver. Unlike regular copper pennies, it is magnetic, while normal pennies are not. If you find one, don't spend it. It could be worth a life-changing amount of money. 2. 1944 D over S mint mark error. This is a very unique error where the Denver Mint, D, accidentally struck some coins over an existing S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint. If you look closely, you can see traces of an S underneath the D. This rare variety is highly sought after by collectors. Coins with a clear D over S mint mark error can sell for thousands of dollars. 3. 1944 Off-Center Strike Penny. An off-center strike happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, resulting in a misplaced design. The more off-center the coin is, the higher its value, especially if the date is still visible. Some of these errors are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. 4. 1944 Double Die Penny. A double die obverse, DDO, occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a visible doubling effect on the letters or numbers. Look for doubling on "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date 1944. If you find one, you could be holding a valuable coin. How much is a 1944 penny worth today? Now, let's talk about the real value of a 1944 Lincoln cent. Regular 1944 pennies, circulated. If your coin is a normal 1944 penny in used condition, it's likely worth just a few cents to a few dollars. High-grade 1944 pennies, mint state 65 or higher. If your penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth $50 to $500. Rare varieties and errors, D/S, off-center, or double die, these versions can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on the condition. 1944 steel penny. The ultimate prize. If you have a genuine 1944 steel penny, it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. And now, for the highest recorded sale of a rare 1944 penny. One of these ultra-rare versions of the 1944 Lincoln penny sold for an astonishing $53,000. Yes, you heard that right, $53,000 for a single penny. Final thoughts. Check your change. The 1944 Lincoln cent might look like an everyday penny, but if you know what to look for, it could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Whether it's a steel penny, a double die error, or a rare D/S mint mark, this coin has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but can be worth a fortune under the right conditions. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare 1950 pennies have been sold for an astonishing amount, and today, we're going to explore why this little 1-cent coin is so special. Make sure you watch this video till the end because we're going to talk about rare varieties, mint errors, and the highest price ever recorded for this coin, and you won't believe how much it sold for. The history behind the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. The Lincoln cent has a long and fascinating history, dating back to 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny replaced the Indian head cent and became an iconic piece of American currency. By the time 1950 rolled around, the Lincoln wheat penny had already been in circulation for over 4 decades. It was a time of economic growth in the United States, with the country moving past World War II and entering a new era of prosperity. But what makes the 1950 penny special? It's not just its historical significance, it's the rare errors, unique varieties, and pristine condition specimens that make some of these coins extremely valuable. Design and features of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. To truly understand the value of this coin, let's take a closer look at its design and key features. Front side, obverse. The front of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Above Lincoln's head is the phrase, "In God We Trust." The word "liberty" appears to the left of Lincoln. The year, 1950, is located just below Lincoln's chin. If the coin was minted in Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, a small mint mark appears under the date. Back side, reverse. The reverse side of the penny features 2 wheat stalks, giving it the famous name, wheat penny. The phrase, "United States of America," is centered between the wheat stalks. The Latin motto, E pluribus unum, is displayed at the top. The denomination, 1 cent, is prominently shown in the middle. Where was the 1950 penny minted? The 1950 Lincoln cent was produced at 3 different U.S. mint locations. 1. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the most common version, with no mint mark. 2. Denver Mint, D mint mark, features a small d under the date. 3. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, has an S mint mark under the date and is typically scarcer. Rare varieties and mint errors that can make a 1950 penny extremely valuable. Not all 1950 pennies are the same. Some rare errors and unique varieties make certain coins highly sought after by collectors. Let's explore some of the most valuable ones. 1. 1950 double die obverse, DDO, penny. A double die obverse, DDO, occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the letters or numbers. Look for doubling in Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, 1950. The stronger and clearer the doubling, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some of these rare error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. 2. 1950 off-center strike penny. An off-center strike happens when the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing a portion of the design to be missing. If the off-center strike is 10% to 50% off but still shows the date, it can be highly valuable. Some off-center errors have sold for hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on how dramatic the misalignment is. 3. 1950 D/S mintmark error. One of the most fascinating errors is the D/S mintmark error. This occurs when a Denver Mint D mark was stamped over an existing San Francisco S mintmark. If you closely examine the mintmark, you may see traces of an S underneath the D. Collectors love these types of errors, and they can fetch huge premiums. 4. 1950 penny with BIE die break error. Some 1950 pennies feature a unique die break error known as the BIE error. This happens when a small raised line appears between the letters B and E in Liberty. While not as rare as other errors, these coins still carry a nice collector's premium. How much is a 1950 penny worth today? The value of a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny depends on its condition, rarity, and any mint errors. Regular circulated 1950 pennies. If your penny has been in circulation, it's generally worth just a few cents to a few dollars. High-grade uncirculated 1950 pennies. If your penny is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth $50 to $500. Rare varieties and mint errors. DDO, off-center, or D/S. These versions can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on their rarity. And now, for the most valuable 1950 penny ever sold, one of these rare varieties of the 1950 Lincoln cent sold for an astonishing $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single penny. Final thoughts: check your change. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is a perfect example of why coin collecting can be so exciting. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or a D/S mintmark, this coin has the potential to be worth a fortune. So, before you spend your old pennies, take a closer look. You might just have a hidden treasure sitting in your collection. We're diving into the fascinating world of United States 1-cent coins and focusing on a highly sought-after penny from 1973. This may look like an ordinary Lincoln cent at first glance, but what if I told you that some versions of this coin could be worth an absolute fortune? Yes, a simple 1973 penny could be worth an amount that will leave you speechless. So, stick with me as we explore the history, rare varieties, mint errors, and most importantly, the shocking value of this coin. The story behind the 1973 U.S. 1-cent coin. The Lincoln cent has been an iconic part of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. By 1973, this design had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades, but that year had something special, some incredibly rare variations that collectors are willing to pay an enormous price for. But what exactly makes the 1973 Lincoln penny stand out? That's what we're about to find out: design and features of the 1973 penny. Before we dive into the rare versions of this penny, let's take a closer look at its design and key features. Obverse, front, design. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is inscribed above Lincoln's head. The word, "Liberty," is positioned to the left of the portrait. The year, 1973, is struck on the right side, just below Lincoln's chin. If the coin has a mint mark, it will appear below the year, either a D for Denver Mint, S for San Francisco Mint, or no mint mark for Philadelphia Mint. Reverse, back, design. The reverse features the famous Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the wheat ears. The words, "United States of America," are curved at the top. The phrase, "E pluribus unum," appears above the memorial. The denomination, 1 cent, is displayed at the bottom. Where was the 1973 penny minted? The 1973 penny was minted at 3 different locations. 1. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. This version does not have a mint mark and was struck in huge quantities. 2. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, marked with a small d below the date. 3. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint struck both circulating and proof versions, with an S mint mark, rare varieties and mint errors of the 1973 penny. While the regular versions of the 1973 penny are common, some rare varieties and errors can make this coin incredibly valuable. Point 1. 1973 Double Die Penny. One of the most famous and desirable errors is the double die obverse, DDO. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice on the die, causing visible doubling on letters and numbers. What to look for: strong doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, 1973. If you spot clear doubling, you might be holding a valuable treasure. Value: well-preserved 1973 double die penny can sell for thousands of dollars depending on its condition. 2. 1973 Off-Center Strike Penny. An off-center strike occurs when the coin's blank planchet is misaligned during minting, causing part of the design to be missing. What to look for: coins that are 10% to 50% off-center with visible dates are worth the most value depending on the percentage of the misalignment. These errors can be worth anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. 3. 1973 S-Proof Penny, with cameo or deep cameo finish. The San Francisco Mint struck proof versions of the 1973 penny with sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. The most valuable ones have a deep cameo, DCAM, effect, meaning Lincoln's portrait appears frosty white against a shiny background. What to look for: a perfect, untouched proof penny with a stunning contrast. Deep cameo, DCAM, versions are worth the most value. A flawless DCAM proof can sell for several $1,000s. 4. 1973 Aluminum Penny, the rarest of all. One of the rarest and most valuable coins from 1973 is the mysterious 1973 aluminum penny. The story behind it: in 1973, the U.S. Mint experimented with aluminum cents to replace copper. As rising metal costs were making penny production expensive, only a few aluminum pennies were struck, and nearly all of them were destroyed. However, a few escaped into the public, making them extremely rare. Value: if you ever find a genuine 1973 aluminum penny, it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. How much is a 1973 penny worth today? Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for. How much is a 1973 penny actually worth? Regular circulated pennies. Most 1973 pennies are only worth face value unless they have an error or rare variety. High-grade coins, mint state 65 or higher. A well-preserved 1973 penny with full details and no wear can sell for $10 to $100. Rare error coins: if you find a double die, off-center strike, or proof deep cameo penny, its value could be in the thousands. Ultra-rare 1973 aluminum penny. If you ever come across one of these, it could be worth an astronomical sum. And for the highest recorded sale of a rare 1973 Lincoln penny, one extremely rare version of this coin sold for a staggering $43,000. Yes, you heard that right, $43,000 for a single penny. Final thoughts: keep an eye on your pennies. The 1973 Lincoln penny may seem common, but rare errors, proof versions, and even experimental coins can be worth a fortune. If you ever come across a 1973 penny with unusual markings, a proof finish, or a dramatic error, don't overlook it. It could be worth a life-changing amount of money. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare pennies, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy treasure hunting.